Alex Murphy took a deep breath as the transport ship docked at Centauri Prime. His stomach twisted with nerves. After months of travel, he had finally arrived at the Galactic Academy of Sciences. At 19 years old, he was the first human ever admitted to this elite school. The doors hissed open. Alex stepped into the arrival hall, pulling his worn duffel bag over his shoulder. Strange smells filled his nose, like mint and metal mixed together. The air felt too thin, making him slightly dizzy. All around him, alien students moved with grace. Some floated, others had too many limbs to count. None looked human. Many stopped to stare at Alex with extra eyes, breathing holes, or sensing organs. A tall, official-looking alien approached. Her skin shimmered blue in the light. "Earth student Alex Murphy?" she asked, her voice musical. "I am Administrator Vila. Welcome to the Academy. You must wear this until you adjust." She handed him a vest-like device. Alex slipped it on. Immediately, the air felt richer and gravity seemed more normal. "Thanks," he said, breathing easier. "Where do I go now?" "Your room assignment is in the quantum wing. Your guide is waiting." A slender, 7-foot-tall being with pale green skin and huge violet eyes stood nearby. He looked at Alex like someone might look at a dangerous animal. "This is Zexalar," Administrator Vila said. "Your roommate." Alex smiled and extended his hand. "Nice to meet you." Zexalar flinched backward. "The pleasure is mine," he said stiffly, ignoring the handshake. "Please follow me to our quarters." As they walked through gleaming hallways, Alex noticed other students moving away. Some whispered behind their hands or appendages. "Is that him? The Deathworlder? How did they let it in here?" "I heard humans kill for sport." Alex kept his eyes forward, pretending not to hear. Zexalar walked several steps ahead as if afraid to be too close. Their room was bigger than Alex expected, with 2 beds, desks, and a window showing the purple skies of Centauri Prime. "Your area is there." Zexalar pointed to the left side. "Please, do not cross to my section without permission." He paused. "And if you feel violent urges, the medical bay has sedatives available." Alex frowned. "I'm not going to attack you." "So you say," Zexalar muttered. "Orientation begins in 1 hour. I will show you to the Great Hall." While Zexalar went to the bathroom, Alex quickly unpacked his few belongings. A photo of his family in Colorado, some books, clothes, and hidden at the bottom a small bag of coffee beans. A luxury out here. Orientation was held in a vast room with seating for hundreds of different body types. Alex found a human-compatible chair and sat down, conscious of the empty seats around him, a floating crystal being drifted nearby, pulsing with curious colors. "You are from Earth?" it asked, voice coming from somewhere inside its crystalline body. "Yes," Alex replied. "I'm Alex." "I am Vela Nix." "Is it true? Your planet has molten rock that explodes from the ground? Volcanoes?" "Yes, we have those." "And water falls from your sky regularly?" "Rain?" "Yes." "And you consume plants and other life forms for energy?" Alex smiled awkwardly. "We call it eating, but yes." A nearby group of students, hearing this conversation, moved several rows back. Professor Galeron floated to the stage, a cloud of shimmering gas in roughly humanoid shape. The room fell silent. "Welcome, brightest minds of the galaxy," the professor began. "For 3,000 years, the Academy has trained the greatest scientists from across known space. You represent 217 worlds." The professor's form shifted slightly as he continued explaining rules, schedules, and expectations. Throughout his speech, his gaseous eyes kept drifting to Alex. "And finally, we acknowledge the presence of our first student from classification XD-17, commonly known as a Deathworld. Earth Representative Alex Murphy, stand please." Alex stood awkwardly as hundreds of alien eyes turned to him. "Many of you have concerns. Rest assured, appropriate safety protocols are in place. Remember, diversity of experience drives innovation." As Alex sat down, a student behind him whispered loudly, "The barbarian from the Death Planet." Alex's face burned, but he kept looking forward. Tomorrow, classes would start. He would show them that humans belonged here, just like everyone else. He just hoped he would survive the semester first. Alex sat in the advanced physics lab, trying to adjust the delicate equipment with his fingers. The thin glass tubes were made for beings with much finer control. Twice already he had cracked components. Around him, other students manipulated the materials with tentacles, light beams, or telekinesis. Having trouble, Earth student? Professor Galleron's gaseous form hovered nearby. Sorry, Professor. Human hands aren't built for this level of precision, Alex said, frustrated. Perhaps you'd be more suited to theoretical work rather than practical applications, the professor suggested before drifting away. Alex sighed. He understood the concepts perfectly, but couldn't handle the tools. Another student, a plant-like, being named Kazdorn, extended a vine finger to help stabilize Alex's equipment. Thanks, Alex whispered. Your understanding of quantum field theory is impressive, Kazdorn said, even if your appendages are clumsy. After class, Alex checked his schedule. Physical assessment was next, a requirement for all new students. He changed into the academy exercise uniform and headed to the gymnasium. The vast room had sections for different species, anti-gravity zones, liquid tanks, and climate-controlled areas. A muscular, blue-skinned woman waved Alex over. I'm Dr. Lorena Vega, she said with a smile. Finally another human. I've been here 20 years. Alex felt instantly relieved seeing another person from Earth. Nice to meet you, Doctor. I'll be supervising your physical baseline today. These tests help establish safe parameters for each species. Other students performed their assessments, some flying through obstacle courses, others demonstrating remarkable flexibility or mental abilities. When Alex's turn came, Dr. Vega led him to a weight station. Start with something light, she suggested, knowing what was coming. Alex easily lifted the weight marked for medium gravity species. Students nearby watched curiously. He moved to progressively heavier weights, eventually lifting a bar that made Dr. Vega smile proudly. What's happening? Asked a silvery-skinned student named Lyra Moonshade. Our human friend is demonstrating Earth normal strength, Dr. Vega explained. What's moderate for him would crush many of you. Murmurs spread across the gym. Alex felt uncomfortable with the attention, but continued his assessment. His endurance, reaction time, and impact resistance were all recorded, with growing interest from observers. Suddenly, a loud crack echoed through the gymnasium. Part of the ceiling support had fractured. A heavy metal beam started falling directly above 3 small crystalline students. Without thinking, Alex sprinted across the room. He pushed the students aside and raised his arms just as the beam came down. The weight slammed onto his shoulders. He grunted with pain but held it up, preventing it from crushing anyone. Emergency protocol, Dr. Vega shouted. Structural failure. Security drones rushed in, lifting the beam away. Alex collapsed to his knees, breathing hard. His shoulders throbbed, and small cuts leaked red blood onto the floor. The crystalline students pulsed with bright colors, their way of showing extreme emotion. You saved us, one chimed. The impact would have shattered our forms. Dr. Vega helped Alex to the medical bay, where alien medical staff gathered curiously around him. These injuries need immediate treatment, a tentacled medical officer said. With alarm, Dr. Vega laughed. On Earth, we'd call these scratches. His system can handle much worse. As Alex's wounds were treated, Lyra Moonshade entered the medical bay. That was impressive, she said. Are all humans capable of such feats? Most of us can handle more physical stress than the species here, Alex explained. Earth has stronger gravity and harsher conditions than most habitable worlds. I would like to learn more about Earth, Lyra said. If you're willing to share. Before Alex could respond, an alarm beeped. An insectoid student with aristocratic markings entered. So the Deathworlder damaged our facilities already, he clicked. I am Dravzik, Student Council President. Your display was concerning. He saved 3 lives, Dr. Vega countered, and demonstrated why humans might be too dangerous for our institution, Dravzik replied. The council will discuss this incident. After everyone left, Dr. Vega patted Alex's shoulder. Don't worry. They'll come around, she said. But you might want to control your strength better. That equipment you broke in physics lab was very expensive. Alex nodded. How do I make them see I'm not a threat? Show them what humans really are, she suggested. Not just strong, but compassionate, creative, and adaptable. Professor Galeron wants you to prepare a presentation about Earth. That's your chance. Alex left the medical bay feeling hopeful but nervous. Tomorrow, he would have to tell his first tale of life on Earth, a world that sounded like a nightmare to his new classmates. Alex stood at the front of the classroom trying to calm his nerves. Every seat was filled. Word had spread about his presentation on Earth, and students from other classes had come to listen. Professor Galeron's gaseous form swirled impatiently. Begin, Mr. Murphy. Show us this Earth that produced such a unique species. Alex tapped the display console. A large image of Earth appeared above him. Blue oceans, green and brown land masses, swirling white clouds. This is my home planet, Alex began. Earth has everything from ice deserts to tropical forests, oceans deep enough to crush most ships, and mountains so high the air is too thin to breathe. Murmurs spread through the room. Alex advanced to the next image, the Amazon rainforest. This is where I'll focus today. When I was 16, my school took us on a wilderness education trip to this rainforest. It's one of Earth's most diverse ecosystems. The image changed to show dense green trees stretching to the horizon. The Amazon has over 10 million species of plants, insects, and animals. Many are dangerous to humans. There are poisonous frogs, small enough to sit on your fingertip, but deadly enough to kill you in minutes. Several students shifted uncomfortably in their seats. During our trip, a storm hit. I became separated from my group. Alex's voice grew steadier as he continued. For 7 days, I had to survive alone. Zexlar, sitting in the back row, leaned forward with interest despite himself. First, I needed shelter. Alex showed an image of a simple lean-to made of branches. I built this using fallen trees and large leaves. It kept me dry when rain fell for 3 days straight. Your atmosphere regularly drops water on you? Asked a desert-dwelling student, horrified. Yes, rain is common on Earth, Alex said. Finding clean water wasn't hard, but food was tricky. I ate fruit when I could identify safe species and insects when necessary. The insectoid student Dravzik clicked his mandibles in disgust. You consumed other insects? For protein, Alex nodded. I also set traps for small animals using techniques my grandfather taught me. Lyra raised her hand. Were you afraid of predators? Yes. The rainforest has jaguars, large carnivores that hunt at night. I had to sleep in trees to stay safe. Alex showed an image of a spotted big cat. One stalked me for 2 days. The room grew completely silent. On the 4th day, I slipped crossing a river and cut my leg on rocks. Alex rolled up his pant leg to show a long scar. In the humid environment, infection was my biggest danger. I found medicinal plants to clean the wound and made a paste to prevent infection, again using my grandfather's teachings. Kazdorn, the plant student, vibrated with excitement. Your species uses plant medicine? Many of our modern medicines come from plants first used by indigenous healers, Alex explained. Earth's harshness forced humans to become resourceful. Professor Galeron floated closer. And how were you found? On the 7th day, I reached a river wide enough to be on their search maps. I created a large SOS signal with rocks and waited. A rescue helicopter spotted me that afternoon. Alex showed one final image. Himself at 16, dirty and thin but smiling as medics checked him over. My classmates called me crazy for not panicking, Alex said. But panic wastes energy. Survival means staying calm and solving one problem at a time. Vela Nix, the crystalline student, chimed in. Do all humans possess such survival knowledge? Alex laughed. No. I was in wilderness scouts since childhood. Many humans who live in cities would struggle in that situation. Yet your species sends their young into such danger for education? Professor Galeron asked. We believe experiencing controlled challenges builds resilience, Alex replied. The trip wasn't supposed to be dangerous. The storm was unexpected. After class ended, students surrounded Alex with questions. Most seemed genuinely curious rather than fearful. Kazdorn approached with excitement. Could you identify more earth plants with medicinal properties for my botanical research? Sure, Alex smiled, feeling accepted for the first time. Only Dravzik remained skeptical, his compound eyes narrowing. Convenient that no one can verify these tales of heroism, he chittered to his friends. But Lyra overheard and turned to the insectoid. Are you calling him a liar? I'm suggesting that Survivor here might be exaggerating to intimidate us, Dravzik replied. I'm happy to answer any specific questions, Alex offered calmly. Dravzik's antennae twitched. Perhaps you'll have a chance to demonstrate these survival skills someday, human. Words are easy, actions prove truth. As the insectoid walked away, Lyra touched Alex's arm gently. Don't mind him. The rest of us want to hear more about Earth. Alex nodded, noticing that his classmates now called him Survivor instead of Deathworlder. It was progress. 2 months passed at the Galactic Academy. Alex no longer needed his special environmental suit, just a small oxygen supplement that he wore like a collar. His body had adjusted to the lighter gravity, though he still felt bouncy when he walked fast. In his dorm room, Alex sat with Lyra, Kazdorn, and Zexilar. They had formed a study group for their xenobiology project. Data pads and holographic displays covered the table between them. Each species must present unique biological adaptations from their homeworld, Zexilar read from the assignment. I'll discuss Proxima 7's bioluminescent communication systems. I'll present the solar energy, conversion in verdant flora, Kazdorn said, leaves rustling with excitement. Lyra looked up from her notes. The crystalline neural networks of Altair's moons will be my focus. All eyes turned to Alex. What about you, Survivor? Zexilar asked, using Alex's new nickname. I'm thinking about human endurance, Alex replied. Specifically persistence hunting. What's that? Lyra asked. Before we had advanced weapons, humans would chase prey until it collapsed from exhaustion, Alex explained. We can't run as fast as many animals, but we can run longer than almost any species on Earth. The 3 aliens stared at him. You're joking, Zexilar said flatly. No intelligent species would waste energy like that. It's true, Alex insisted. Humans have specialized cooling through sweat, efficient oxygen use, and leg muscles designed for sustained movement. Some human tribes still hunt this way. Kazdorn's leaves shivered. You chase prey until it dies of exhaustion. That's terrifying. Before Alex could respond, a message flashed on all their devices. Annual wilderness training tomorrow. All students report to Simulation Dome at first light. Perfect timing, Lyra said. You can show us this endurance during the training. The next morning, students gathered at the massive Simulation Dome. Dr. Ethan Rivers, a tall human man with gray-streaked hair, stood on a platform addressing the group. Welcome to wilderness training, Dr. Rivers announced. This exercise tests your ability to navigate challenging environments. The course simulates various terrains and obstacles. You have 6 hours to reach the finish point. Alex felt a surge of excitement. Finally, something he might be good at. The dome darkened briefly. When the lights returned, they stood in what appeared to be a dense forest with purple vegetation. The air felt humid and warm. Begin, Dr. Rivers called. Students scattered in different directions. Some flew above the trees. Others used technology or natural abilities to navigate. Alex studied the terrain and started jogging at a steady pace. He didn't have wings or telekinesis, but he had endurance. Hours passed. Alex moved continuously while other students took frequent breaks. The terrain changed from forest to rocky hills to swampy areas. Some obstacles required climbing or swimming. Alex kept going, his pace steady. In a marshy section, he found Lyra struggling to cross without sinking into the muck. Her silvery skin wasn't suited for such conditions. Need help? Alex asked. Lyra nodded gratefully. Alex showed her how to test the ground with a stick before stepping and which plants indicated firmer footing. They crossed together. You're not even tired, Lyra noticed. Her own breathing labored. I'm pacing myself, Alex explained. That's the key to endurance. By the 5th hour, many students had either finished using their special abilities or given up. Alex passed several resting along the trail, looking surprised to see him still, moving steadily. In the final section, sharp rock formations blocked the path. Alex scraped his arm, climbing over, leaving a small trail of blood. He hardly noticed and kept moving. Dr. Rivers waited at the finish line, checking students off as they completed the course. When Alex jogged across, covered in sweat and dirt, but still moving steadily, Dr. Rivers grinned. Impressive persistence, Mr. Murphy, he said. Most species would have stopped after that injury. It's just a scratch, Alex shrugged. Other students gathered around as Dr. Rivers explained to them. Humans evolved as pursuit predators. Their bodies are designed for sustained effort rather than bursts of speed or strength. It's why Alex can keep going hour after hour even when injured. Suddenly, alarms blared. A security drone's voice echoed through the dome. Emergency in Section D7, student trapped. Dr. Rivers checked his device. It's Dravzik. A security drone malfunctioned. Without hesitation, Alex turned and ran back into the course. He heard Lyra call after him, "Alex, wait!" But he was already sprinting toward Section D7, ready to help even his rival. Alex sprinted through the training course, retracing his steps back to Section D7. Sweat dripped down his face, but he barely noticed. The terrain changed from rocky passages back to swampy ground as warning lights flashed overhead. He found Dravzik trapped beneath a fallen security drone. The heavy machine had malfunctioned and crashed, pinning the insectoid student's lower body. Sparks shot from the drone's damaged circuits, threatening to ignite the surrounding vegetation. "Help!" Dravzik called, his mandibles clicking in distress. "My exoskeleton is cracking." Alex assessed the situation quickly. The drone was too heavy to lift alone, and its exposed power core was dangerously hot. "Hold still," Alex said, kneeling beside the trapped student. "I need to disable the power core before moving it." "Hurry, human," Dravzik hissed in pain. Alex found a long branch and used it to carefully push the emergency shutdown switch on the drone. The spark stopped, but heat still radiated from the machine. "I'm going to try lifting one side," Alex explained. "When I do, pull yourself out." Taking a deep breath, Alex gripped the edge of the drone and heaved upward. His muscles burned with the effort. The machine lifted just enough for Dravzik to drag himself free. As soon as the insectoid was clear, Alex let the drone drop. His hands were red and blistered from touching the overheated metal. "You're injured," Dravzik observed, looking at Alex's burned palms. "I'll be fine," Alex said, though the pain was intense. "Can you walk?" Dravzik tested his legs. "My left hind leg is damaged but functional." Together they limped toward the exit, each supporting the other when needed. By the time they reached the end of the course, a medical team waited with Dr. Rivers and Professor Zan Trill, the 6-limbed xenobiology teacher. "Remarkable," Professor Zan Trill said, watching Alex help Dravzik to the medical transport. The human returned to help his rival without hesitation. In the medical bay, Dr. Vega treated Alex's burns while another doctor examined Dravzik's cracked exoskeleton. "These are second-degree burns," Dr. Vega scolded. "What were you thinking, grabbing hot metal with bare hands?" "There wasn't time to find gloves," Alex replied with a small smile. Across the room, Dravzik watched silently. After their treatments, as they prepared to leave, the insectoid student approached Alex. "You had no obligation to help me," Dravzik said. "Why did you?" Alex looked surprised by the question. "You were in danger. Anyone would have helped." "No, they wouldn't have," Dravzik replied. "Many species here would consider a rival's misfortune an advantage." "That's not how humans think," Alex said simply. "I have misjudged your species," Dravzik admitted. "I owe you a debt." The next day in xenobiology class, Professor Zan Trill called Alex to the front. "Mr. Murphy, yesterday's events provided an excellent case study in human adaptations. the professor said. Would you share more about your species' unique evolutionary pressures? Alex nodded and stood before the class, his hands still bandaged. Earth has extreme environments from freezing poles to burning deserts, Alex began. I grew up in Colorado, where mountains reach heights that would kill unprotected humans. He activated the classroom display, showing snow-covered Rocky Mountains. When I was 17, my cousin Patrick and I went hiking in these mountains. A sudden blizzard trapped us for 3 days. Images of whiteout conditions appeared, snow blowing sideways in fierce winds. Temperatures dropped to -20 degrees. For reference, water freezes at 0, Alex explained. We dug a snow cave for shelter. The class stared in horror as Alex described how they melted snow for water and rationed their small food supply. The cold is deadly to humans, Alex continued. Our bodies must maintain a very specific internal temperature. Too cold and we develop hypothermia. Our organs start shutting down. How did you survive? Asked a student from a desert world. We kept moving to generate heat, took turns sleeping, and stayed in contact for shared body warmth, Alex said. On the 3rd day, Patrick developed frostbite on his fingers. Alex showed an image of blackened human fingertips. Several students made sounds of distress. The tissue dies when frozen, he explained matter-of-factly. Patrick lost 2 fingers but considered himself lucky. On Earth, people die in such conditions every year. Yet humans continue to explore these deadly environments, Professor Zantrill asked, fascinated. We're curious by nature, Alex smiled. And we adapt. We've learned to survive almost anywhere on our planet. After class, even Dravzik approached with questions about survival tactics in various environments. For tactical purposes only, the insectoid clarified. Of course, Alex nodded, hiding a smile. That evening, students from other classes knocked on Alex's door, asking to hear more Earth stories. Word had spread throughout the academy about the humans' remarkable tales. Professor Zantrill sent Alex a message. Your perspective on adaptation is valuable. Would you assist in my research on comparative xenobiology? Dr. Rivers could use your help. For the first time, Alex felt truly at home among the stars. 1 month later, Alex worked in the laboratory with Dr. Rivers and Professor Zantrill, analyzing data from various planetary environments. His friendship circle had grown. Even Zexalar now seemed comfortable around him, no longer flinching when Alex moved suddenly. Alarms blared suddenly, making everyone look up from their work. Red emergency lights flashed throughout the building. Attention all Academy personnel, announced a calm computerized voice. Solar storm warning. Shield systems failing. Life support compromised. This is not a drill. Dr. Rivers checked his data pad. This is bad. The storm is massive and our main shields are down to 30%. Panic spread through the academy as students rushed through corridors. Many species required specific environmental conditions to survive, and the life support systems kept those conditions stable. All students report to emergency shelters, the voice commanded. Dr. Rivers grabbed Alex's arm. We need to find Dr. Vega. The 3 of us might be the only ones who can function if the environmental controls fail completely. They hurried to the medical bay, finding Dr. Vega already preparing emergency kits. How bad is it? She asked. The worst solar storm in decades, Dr. Rivers replied. And it's hitting during system maintenance. The backup generators won't handle full load. More alarms sounded as lights flickered. The air circulation system made a grinding noise, then stopped. Atmospheric processors failing, announced the computer voice. Oxygen levels will deplete in non-emergency areas within 2 hours. Dr. Vega looked at Alex and Dr. Rivers. Humans are about to become very popular around here. They split up to help guide students to safety. Alex ran toward the dormitories, finding many students already struggling with the changing conditions. The lighter gravity that had been challenging for him was now failing, making gravity increase toward Earth normal levels. I can't move, gasped Kazdorn, the plant student's thin limbs buckling under the increased weight. Alex lifted Kazdorn easily. I've got you. The emergency shelter is this way. All around, students from low-gravity worlds collapsed. Alex carried Kazdorn while helping Lyra, who struggled but could still walk. How are you still functioning? Lyra asked, amazed. This gravity feels normal to me, Alex explained. Earth's gravity is actually a bit stronger. In the main shelter, Professor Galeron's gaseous form was condensing dangerously as temperature controls failed. Other staff members tried desperately to stabilize the environmental systems. Dr. Rivers found Alex in the crowd. The backup generator for the atmospheric processors is failing. Without it, most species here can't breathe. Can we fix it? Alex asked. Maybe, but it's in the maintenance tunnels outside the shielded areas. Radiation levels there are already dangerous. I'll go, Alex volunteered. No, protested Lyra. The radiation will kill you. Zexler, who understood the Academy's systems, spoke up. I know how to fix the generator, but I physically can't survive the radiation. Then tell me what to do, Alex said. Dr. Vega approached, her face grim. Alex, humans have better radiation resistance than most species here, but this is still extremely dangerous. People will die if the systems fail, Alex replied. I have to try. With a radiation suit and Zexalar's instructions via communicator, Alex made his way to the maintenance tunnels. The air grew thin and hot as he moved farther from the protected areas. Warning sensors on his suit beeped constantly. At the generator room, alarms screamed as radiation levels climbed. Alex's hands shook as he followed Zexalar's instructions, bypassing damaged systems and manually connecting backup power cells. The coupling needs to be rotated 1/4 turn. Zexalar's voice crackled through static. But be careful, it's probably very hot. Alex's radiation suit was melting in spots from the heat. He gritted his teeth and turned the metal coupling with his bare hands, skin burning as he did. With a final connection, lights flickered back on. Fans whirred as the atmospheric processors restarted. Life support system stabilizing, the computer announced. Radiation shielding at 60% and rising. Alex staggered back toward the shelter, vision blurring. His skin felt sunburned all over, and nausea hit him in waves. These were symptoms of radiation sickness, something he'd learned about in Earth history classes. When he reached the shelter door, his legs gave out. Dr. Vega and Lyra caught him before he hit the floor. Foolish, brave human, Dr. Vega muttered, helping him to a medical bed. As medical staff treated him, Alex drifted in and out of consciousness. He heard bits of conversation around him. Would have killed any of us immediately. Remarkable. Cellular repair rate. Deathworld physiology saved us all. The last thing Alex remembered before passing out was Dravzik, standing nearby with what looked like respect in his compound eyes, saying, Now I understand why humans reached the stars. 1 month later, Alex worked in the laboratory with Dr. Rivers and Professor Zan Trill, analyzing data from various planetary environments. His friendship circle had grown. Even Zexalar now seemed comfortable around him, no longer flinching when Alex moved suddenly. Alarms blared suddenly, making everyone look up from their work. Red emergency lights flashed throughout the building. Attention all Academy personnel, announced a calm computerized voice. Solar storm warning. Shield systems failing. Life support compromised. This is not a drill. Dr. Rivers checked his datapad. This is bad. The storm is massive and our main shields are down to 30%. Panic spread through the Academy as students rushed through corridors. Many species required specific environmental conditions to survive, and the life support systems kept those conditions stable. All students report to emergency shelters, the voice commanded. Dr. Rivers grabbed Alex's arm. We need to find Dr. Vega. The three of us might be the only ones who can function if the environmental controls fail completely. They hurried to the medical bay, finding Dr. Vega already preparing emergency kits. How bad is it? She asked. The worst solar storm in decades, Dr. Rivers replied. And it's hitting during system maintenance. The backup generators won't handle full load. More alarms sounded as lights flickered. The air circulation system made a grinding noise, then stopped. Atmospheric processors failing, announced the computer voice. Oxygen levels will deplete in non-emergency areas within 2 hours. Dr. Vega looked at Alex and Dr. Rivers. Humans are about to become very popular around here. They split up to help guide students to safety. Alex ran toward the dormitories, finding many students already struggling with the changing conditions. The lighter gravity that had been challenging for him was now failing, making gravity increase toward Earth normal levels. "I can't move," gasped Kazdorn, the plant student's thin limbs buckling under the increased weight. Alex lifted Kazdorn easily. "I've got you. The emergency shelter is this way." All around, students from low-gravity worlds collapsed. Alex carried Kazdorn while helping Lyra, who struggled but could still walk. "How are you still functioning?" Lyra asked, amazed. "This gravity feels normal to me," Alex explained. "Earth's gravity is actually a bit stronger." In the main shelter, Professor Galeron's gaseous form was condensing dangerously as temperature controls failed. Other staff members tried desperately to stabilize the environmental systems. Dr. Rivers found Alex in the crowd. "The backup generator for the atmospheric processors is failing. Without it, most species here can't breathe." "Can we fix it?" Alex asked. "Maybe, but it's in the maintenance tunnels outside the shielded areas. Radiation levels there are already dangerous." "I'll go," Alex volunteered. "No," protested Lyra. "The radiation will kill you." Zexler, who understood the Academy's systems, spoke up. "I know how to fix the generator, but I physically can't survive the radiation." "Then tell me what to do," Alex said. Dr. Vega approached, her face grim. "Alex, humans have better radiation resistance than most species here, but this is still extremely dangerous. People will die if the systems fail," Alex replied. "I have to try." With a radiation suit and Zexelar's instructions via communicator, Alex made his way to the maintenance tunnels. The air grew thin and hot as he moved farther from the protected areas. Warning sensors on his suit beeped constantly. At the generator room, alarms screamed as radiation levels climbed. Alex's hands shook as he followed Zexelar's instructions, bypassing damaged systems and manually connecting backup power cells. "The coupling needs to be rotated 1/4 turn," Zexelar's voice crackled through static. "But be careful, it's probably very hot." Alex's radiation suit was melting in spots from the heat. He gritted his teeth and turned the metal coupling with his bare hands, skin burning as he did. With a final connection, lights flickered back on. Fans whirred as the atmospheric processors restarted. "Life support system stabilizing," the computer announced. "Radiation shielding at 60% and rising." Alex staggered back toward the shelter, vision blurring. His skin felt sunburned all over, and nausea hit him in waves. These were symptoms of radiation sickness, something he'd learned about in Earth history classes. When he reached the shelter door, his legs gave out. Dr. Vega and Lyra caught him before he hit the floor. "Foolish, brave human," Dr. Vega muttered, helping him to a medical bed. As medical staff treated him, Alex drifted in and out of consciousness. He heard bits of conversation around him. "Would have killed any of us immediately. Remarkable. Cellular repair rate. Deathworld physiology saved us all." The last thing Alex remembered before passing out was Dravzik, standing nearby with what looked like respect in his compound eyes, saying, "Now I understand why humans reached the stars." As the semester neared its end, Alex packed a small bag in his dorm room. The academy would close for a 2-week break, giving him time to visit Earth. He placed small items carefully in his luggage, gifts for his family back in Colorado. Zexler watched from across the room, their relationship now one of friendship rather than fear. "Will you bring back some of those coffee beans?" Zexler asked hopefully. "The smell is strangely pleasing even if the caffeine would kill me." Alex laughed. "Sure, I'm bringing back all kinds of Earth things. Everyone has requests." His desk was covered with a list of safe Earth items students had asked for: rocks, dried flowers, photographs of animals, small shells. What once frightened his classmates now fascinated them. A knock at the door interrupted them. Lyra entered, her silvery skin glowing with excitement. "It's official," she said. holding up a notification screen. "I've been approved as the first exchange student to visit Earth." Alex's face lit up. "That's amazing. When do you leave?" "I'll follow you next week after completing specialized environmental training," Lyra explained. "I'll stay with a host family near your hometown." Zexeler's large eyes blinked rapidly. "You're actually going to Earth? Voluntarily?" "I want to experience the Deathworld firsthand," Lyra said. "With proper precautions, of course." Later that day, Alex met with Dr. Rivers and Professor Zantrill to review the new safety equipment they had designed for future human students. "We've modified the environmental suits to accommodate human strength and temperature ranges," Professor Zantrill explained, "and added reinforced components for your tendency to break things." Dr. Rivers smiled. "The Academy is also incorporating Deathworld survival techniques into standard emergency training. We'd like you to consult on the program when you return." "I'd be honored," Alex said. Outside the lab, Alex bumped into Dravzik, who now headed the Student Cultural Exchange Committee. "Before you leave, human," the insectoid said, "I have news. 5 new Earth students have been accepted for next term." 5? Alex couldn't hide his surprise. "That's great. The board believes human perspective benefits our community," Dravzik explained. "Your species' adaptability creates unique solutions." That evening, Alex's friends gathered for a small farewell party. Even students who once avoided him now came to wish him safe travels. Kazdorn presented him with a specially bred plant that changed colors with human touch. "A symbol of our connection," the plant being explained. As the twin suns began to set, Alex stood with his friends on the observation deck, watching the purple-orange glow spread across Centauri Prime's horizon. How different this place seemed now from when he first arrived, lonely and feared. "I never expected this," Alex admitted. "When I came here, I thought I'd always be the outsider." "Instead, you taught us to see beyond our differences," Lyra said, standing close beside him. "And to appreciate the strength that comes from struggle," added Zexler. "Perhaps comfortable worlds don't create the most adaptable species." Below them, Academy staff prepared the landing area for tomorrow's transport ships. One would take Alex home to Earth, if only briefly. But he knew now that he belonged in both worlds, Earth and the stars. "What are you most excited to show me on Earth?" Lyra asked. Alex thought for a moment. "Rain," he decided. "I want you to feel rain on your skin, and see mountains covered in snow, and taste real strawberries." "Some of those things sound dangerous," she said with a smile. "The best things usually are," Alex replied. As darkness fell and stars appeared in the alien sky, Professor Galeron's gaseous form joined them briefly. "When you first arrived, Mr. Murphy, I wondered if Earth's harshness had created only physical strength," the professor said. "I see now it created something more valuable: adaptability, curiosity, and community. Those are gifts worth sharing with the galaxy." The next morning, as Alex boarded the transport ship, he carried not just his bag of souvenirs but a new understanding of his place in the universe. Earth wasn't just a death world to be survived. It was a training ground that had prepared humanity for the stars. From the viewport, he watched Centauri Prime shrink in the distance. Soon he would feel Earth's heavy gravity, breathe its oxygen-rich air, and walk beneath its open sky. And this time he wouldn't be alone in seeing its beauty hidden behind the danger. The Deathworld's child was going home, but only for a visit. His future, like humanity's, belonged among the stars.